I leave the country for a couple of days and all hell breaks loose. No, I'm just kidding. So the NDP Liberal deal. I have two things I want to say about it today. The second, which we'll get to in a minute, is whether or not it's going to affect the supposed Liberal commitment that they've been hinting at about increased defense spending. But let's first actually talk about the deal itself. This is big news. It was a big breaking news story. I understand a lot of my colleagues in the media were really excited about it. I was a little bit underwhelmed. And what I mean by that is I don't want to suggest that it's not a big deal. It obviously is going to have an impact on our politics. It's going to change the tone and the tenor of things to come, at least in the medium term. But it's basically a gentleman's agreement between two guys who don't like each other. This deal is going to last as long as it takes for one or the other of Mr. Singh or Mr. Trudeau to go, you know what, this isn't working out for me anymore. Like, if Justin Trudeau decides it is in his best interest, or the best interest of the Liberal Party, to break the deal, what? He's not going to do it because it's going to hurt Jagmeet's feelings? And then meanwhile, of course, if Jagmeet Singh sees an opportunity to stick a knife into the Liberals and improve his own electoral advantage, he's not going to do it because it wouldn't be sporting? Like, come on. Again, this is a gentleman's agreement between two guys who don't like each other, who have their own political goals, and who have their own personal goals here. I think it will last for a while because for right now, there seems to be enough common ground that they actually have something to work together on. Do I think it will last the full 4 years? I mean, hey, stranger things have happened, but I'm not going to bet the proverbial farm on it. A couple of other questions that come up around the actual agreement itself. I did the math on this, and those of you who know me in real life know how much I hate doing math, but I actually looked at the 2021 electoral results, and I tabulated, just really bulk, brutal math, whether or not this agreement, it's not a coalition, the confidence and supply agreement, does it meet the sort of really raw democratic legitimacy test? Yes, it does. The NDP and the Liberals combined in the last election account for just barely over 50% of the ballots cast. I rounded off the numbers, so don't quote me on this, but it is basically 50% and then a fraction of a percent on top of that. I think it was about 0.3%, but again, I rounded some of the numbers off, so your actual mileage may vary. But in any case, they are over the 50% threshold. 50% plus one is a majority. So there you go. The NDP and the Liberals do command between them a majority of the voters who bothered to show up last time. Wasn't a huge number of us that bothered to show up, but there you go. The other issue that just crops up is whether or not it's a good idea. I don't know. You know what? Look, I mean, I understand why my conservative and right-wing friends are frustrated by this. They feel like they're being shut out of an opportunity to have some impact, particularly when it comes to some of the committees and the opportunity to hold the Liberals to account. I'm not happy about that either. I think there's a lot they need to answer for, and I hope the NDP is not going to block any efforts to hold them accountable in some of these committees that have been looking into some of the things that the Liberals have been up to. I don't know. We'll have to find out. The one thing I'll add before we move on to the military thing is I understand why Jagmeet Singh is doing this. The party needs time to regroup for the last election. It spent a ton of money to gain one seat last time. I don't really understand why Justin Trudeau is doing this. And I would love it if some senior Liberal could drop into my inbox on background and explain the rationale here. Because the reason I don't think this is that big of a deal is because I don't know what the Liberals are getting out of this that they couldn't get out of this before. I tweeted snarkily on Twitter a few days ago, oh gee, wow, the Liberals are going to have to run the country with the NDP support. This is what they've been doing for years. I mean, we've had mostly minority governments in our recent election cycles. A lot of them have involved the Liberals being propped up by the NDP in exchange for delivering, generically speaking, left-wing deliverables. This isn't new. I don't know what the big deal is. All right, to the military question, and I shall answer this succinctly. Some people are saying, oh, well, the NDP will never support new defense spending, which the defense minister and the foreign affairs minister have been hinting is going to be coming. I actually don't agree on that. I'm not betting the farm, as I said before, but my gut feeling is that this deal has been in progress for some time. The Liberals have been hinting at increased defense spending for some time as well. They wouldn't be doing that if they knew that this deal was coming and the NDP were never going to vote for it. So rather than looking at this deal as something that blocks increased defense spending, I'm starting to wonder if pharmacare and dental care are the price the NDP asked for in order to either support or at least not oppose what the Liberals have been saying they intend to do.